I'd like to thank the witnesses for coming in. At the outset, I'm in construction myself. I've been in construction all my life. And I've seen firsthand when we're building houses that for the likes of disabilities. And I've seen the regulation that has changed and the planning process that changes throughout the years. But I believe that the implementation of the planning is actually more being enforced in the counties than it is within the cities, because in the county, when you're building a house, if it's a one-off house or if it's a housing stay, they tend to build them bigger anyway. So they include the bathroom, the bigger bathroom, they include all the doors of 1 metre spaces for access into the houses. They work on the stairs, they work on a landing if there's going to be. So they're working not only for people with disability, they're working for people that are getting older into life that will want help in any which way that they want it. So I've seen the changes, but when I go into a city, I see that every inch that they look for is being minimised. So there's no inclusion for people with disabilities. And I'm very lucky where I'm living in Grana. We have St. Joseph's Foundation nearest, where there's people with disabilities and people without. But when I can see what can be achieved when they're integrated into the community, and I don't believe they should be put in a corner. I don't believe that they should be integrated into the community because of what they can offer to us and what we can offer to them. So from a building perspective then, I had people that came to me and they wanted to say that they had properties that they wanted to build, and they wanted to build them for people that if they had special needs. So they contacted the local authorities and told them that they had sites, that they would build these service sites which had wheelchair accessible footpaths, which had bus routes, which had everything within the area. And the local authority came back to them and told them that they had nobody on their list for a disability house. That shocked me. It surprised me. Only for hearing it first hand, I wouldn't have believed it. Because with the ageing community that we have, and it's regardless whether you have a disability or not, all houses should be adapted on the first floor for disability. It makes sense. You have a wet room downstairs, everything is disability. It only means that you're increasing the door width from 900 mil to a metre. That's it, for door access into any house. On a stair, you've only got to, if you're using stairs, you have to allow an extra 100 mil for a stair lift to work, if you wanted to use a stair lift. If you wanted where you had a person that needed a carer, the carer could live upstairs and the person could live downstairs and they could cohabit, and that's what they could do. But there's no forward thinking for a couple of inches in a living area. Not only for this, but for the likes of that. For no family in this country knows that tomorrow morning they may have an accident. They may have a child that has an accident. But when you're building houses in the rural areas, what do they do downstairs? They build a sitting room, but they make sure that it's accessible to a bathroom just in case they ever have to change over if somebody has an accident that they're downstairs, that they could, out of an elderly parent wants to come and live with you. But people that are building their own houses put in all the adaptations because they can see it, but our local authority and our legislation, or the governance for our legislation, doesn't cover this. So to me, as being a building contractor, I can't understand why not. Because it's only 100 mil in the door. It's increasing a bathroom downstairs. No matter if you're in a 1,000 square foot house, it means that you're making one room that's slightly a bit smaller. So I'm 100% behind anything of adaptations for making all houses. I don't think it should be 10%. I think it's all houses should be made adapt. For at least you're adapting for the future. That means you don't have to put 10% aside. You have 100%. Everyone should have to adapt their houses. And Chair, from your own electrical background, you know that the regulations for switches even in houses has changed, and they're down at a certain level, that those type of things have changed. So why can't we move small little pieces that would make every house adaptable? Whether it's a 1-storey or a 2-storey, it doesn't matter. That you just make a small amendment. And that might mean that you don't even have to change the size of the square footage, that you only have to move a wall 4 or 5 inches or 100 mil, whichever way we want to hear, to make the regulations that little bit easier for anyone. And that doesn't only work for disabilities, that works for our ageing population, it works for everyone. So I fully commend everything that you're doing. I will be with you 100% myself. If you have a list of people that are looking for in Limerick alone, please contact me, because I'll work with you to help you in whichever way I can. And people do come to me that want their house to be adapted for people. But I want them integrated into the community, because no one should be left outside, no matter what. That everyone should be integrated, everyone should work with each other. And I'm so happy that with the people that I'm involved with, that they are integrated with us, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy O'Donoghue, and leave it open to anybody who wants to comment.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. I suppose, yeah, that's absolutely. I suppose I live in Belmullet, County Mayo, and we have. Like that, we have built 8 houses there for people with disabilities in the town, and the difference that has made to those 8 people is just incredible. They're living fully independent lives, they're getting integrated, they've gone back to employment, they've gone back to education, they're giving so much back into the community, they're getting involved in all the committees, and it is, when you see it in reality. And I suppose what we're talking about, the congregated settings, actually last year we moved a young lady who had a stroke when she was 39 and spent 9 years in the local nursing home into one of our houses that became available. And to see that lady's life, I suppose, she lived through the COVID in the Belmullet nursing home and never left her room for 2 years. Prior to that, the only time she did leave her room was to come into our day service 2 days a week, where she had met the tenants and seen the houses, I suppose, and formed her dream. And you know, we moved her out of the nursing home during COVID, so she had never seen the house that she was moving into, and the community had got together and furnished the house and painted the house for her. And you know, her life has completely changed, I suppose, and that is the reality of having an accessible house. She's now living independently. She's gone back to doing further education. She has her own dog, which she always wanted. And the most thing she loves is the silence, she said, at night. No bells ringing, nobody coming into the room, nobody walking the corridors, and nobody shouting for assistance. So, you know, I thought it's so powerful.
It's not only what she has done, it's what the community has given her, but she's also after giving back to the community, because she's shown a life lesson to everyone within the community, what people do. Communities are key. Yep. But I'll go back to and I won't delay you, Chair, is if you have a list in the country that people are looking for housing, no matter what counties there, you should let us know and see what people can actually do within their own rights that can help. Because people talking means that people have different friends in different areas. They might actually talk and say, oh, I know where there's a house, I know where something is. And all these help. So again, it goes back to community. And there is communities out there that will open arms, will help people, because they know the value of the help that they get back. Thank you very much.
Thank you.